That was beautiful. That was wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Okay. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the show, referred to as What is Nwapo. My name is Brother Bodie. It's been quite a while since we've done a show, actually live. We've done a lot of Tubal Cain classics. And to be truthful with you all, I'm very inspired. I feel good. I feel great as we speak. And I feel very inspired at this particular time to reach out to the family and share jewels of life and love and truth and touch on the phenomena, right, of black magic, black magic, black magic. Because the name of the show today is referred to as Black Magic and the Science of the Inner Crystal. And I hope many people are asking themselves, right, who may be blessed and or fortunate enough to listen to this transmission, what is the inner crystal? Right, well, we will touch on that today. And let me first start by saying this. Of ourselves, we do nothing without the guidance of the masters. Right? And without question, when we say masters, we're speaking about our spiritual ancestors. You understand that? Who are also linked to our ethereal ancestors, which are connected to our interdimensional family, because we exist in multiple dimensions. Let me explain. A dimension is nothing but a property of space. You see? So there's more than just, having your ancestors. Your ancestors also had ancestors, but they also had inner celestial beings too. Right? And I think, and I pray, and I hope that in this show, for those who are listening, that we all learn the difference between our ancestors and or descendants. What I mean by that? Because when you say ancestors, you're talking about those who you descended from, correct? Meaning your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, right? Your maternal parents on your mother's side, right? And all of your relatives on your mother's side, and all of your relatives on your father's side, and all of your granddescendants on your mother's side, and all your granddescendants on your father's side, right? Well, we understand that to be our ancestors. However, we also have descendants too, right? You say, well, what if I don't have any children? Is it possible for me to have descendants? And I would say yes, because one of the things pointed out to us a long time ago by the Supreme Grand Hierophant, the Tir Aferti Atum Re, listen, of the ancient Tamarayan order, the Tamarayan Tahui, and or AEO, ancient Egyptian order, who is none other than the Tir Aferti Atum Re, right? That when we say descendants, you're talking about those beings who descended into this plane of existence, descended into this realm, and or descended into this earth, this planet. You follow that? Not necessarily your progeny, right? Which those beings who stand pro your genetics, right? Because you existed before them, so you're pre-them. I'm not talking about your kids, your children, those who are offspring from you at a later time, ancestors and or descendants. I'm talking about those that you are literally linked into your ancestry, and those who are also supreme and or heavenly and or divine beings that incarnated here too. You understand? So now, mine is a job is to assist by virtue of this transmission that is given to me by the elders, by the ancestors, to help you, the hearer and or the listener, to add to your hearing and receive to what it is that we're saying, which is there are multiple facets and or aspects to what you refer to as divination. You understand? It's not just natural things on earth. It's not just your family, your ancestors, but it's also your spiritual family too. Right? When I say spiritual, I mean your ethereal family. And we're going to get into all of that. Right? First off, I want to send much love to everybody in the listening audience. Give praises to the greatest grand ancestral spirits, the ever-present ancestral spirit who is with us always. And each one of us have the ability to channel that energy. You follow that? That great collective force, that loving high force energy that moves through all of our ancestors. You understand? That the religious world referred to as the Most High. Well, you may simply, as a child, say your grandfather. There's a link to the many fathers that you descend and or ascend from. Because you have ascendants and descendants too. Right? The Native Americans referred to them as the ancient ones. You understand? And when you say ancient ones, meaning those beings who are ancient, right? Beyond, right, the last 6,000 years. I don't mean that, because we know that the Caucasian, the pale race, right, would make me and you feel guilty about connecting with our ancestors. They'll try to say that me and you, if we did it, right, it's some type of pagan worship. It's some type of voodoo, right, as if voodoo is a bad thing. And voodoo is a French word, which means self-introspection, right, which also represents the self and or spirit. Because the word self is nothing but another way of saying spirit, you know. So what's wrong with getting in tune with your own spirit? It's just that they took that which was good and made it evil. But not evil to them, but evil to you. Meaning they don't want me and you to connect with those sciences. The voodoo is only 1 degree away from what it initially was and or is, right, which is hoodoo. You see, the science of who, the creative force of will. Meaning you have the ability to create your own force of will to will positive in your life and or negative in your life by virtue of your thinking. You understand? And why? Because it's pointed out to me by a brother the other day that I was speaking to. His name is kemetic. Good brother that I was introduced to from Nikki Love, right? Shout out to Nikki Love Radio. You follow what I'm saying? But one of the things the brother said to me and reminded me, I should say, is that there are multiple interdimensional, he said there's multiple infinite possibilities. Your life is based on multiple infinite possibilities, not just one way of doing things, not just one way of feeling, not just one way of living. You follow that? And who better to see these things than beings who are genetically tied to you? Let's keep it simple. Your mothers and your fathers. Because if you were a child and you needed help, say for instance you were running and you scraped your knee, right, against the ground, then who did you have to come to for help? You understand? Either your mother or your father. In most cases, your mother. You ran to your mother, you showed her your knee, right? Or in my case, you know what I'm saying, my wrists, my hands, my elbows, you know, because I was constantly, you know what I'm saying, going against nature, right? And there's penalties for going against nature. What I mean by that? Well, at the age of 7 years old, living in Kings Ridge apartment in Atlanta, Georgia, me and my brother, sometimes my sister, we converted her into, right, anti-nature too. You know what I mean? Is when you, right, you know, we would take these shopping carts, right, and we would go to the top of the hill in these shopping carts. We called them buggies. You know what I mean? Because we were bugging, right? And you get inside these little shopping carts, right? I'm talking about top of the hill. We call it the hill, which wasn't like a grassy knoll. You're talking about the top of the development, right? When it wasn't no hill or grass or dirt. You're talking about asphalt, street, right? Well, we thought it was a good idea. Excuse me, y'all. Praise the Most High, just 98% complete. Pushing out this flu, this bug that bit me. Speaking of bugs, you know what I mean? But yeah, family. So we would go to the top of the hill in these little buggies. And we thought it was a wonderful idea to just, you know, get somebody to just push you a certain along the way and then just let the buggy go. And it's still fun, too. You riding down there, you know what I'm saying? You can hear the wheels on the buggy just hitting the street, you know, hitting all the rocks, you know, like on the asphalt, so to speak. And your goal was to get all the way down to the hill, to the bottom of the hill, without falling. I mean, it was a good idea, but it just didn't work. I mean, we thought it was a good idea. Obviously, it wasn't. Because without question, every time, right, just when we thought we made it, you get to a certain point, and don't get me wrong, it felt real good, too. Excuse me. It felt very good, right, going down that hill up until you hit a rock or you hit like a little crack in the street, and all of a sudden, right, the buggy flips over, right, whoever's riding with you, if they were smart, they just watch you ride. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Right? You would fall and you would just bust your ass, literally. I'm talking about, man, everything. I mean, you could fall head first, your chin first, hands. I'm talking about scrapes on your hand, knees. I mean, and no matter how many times we would mess up like that, right? Because we would, you understand, Mike, the older brother, who lived in the apartment complex, his name was Marshall, right? You'd always say, man, that's when I first heard the word fuck. I didn't even know what the word fuck means, right? He said, man, you got fucked up. Excuse my French. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew and understood that this wasn't cool, but the thrill was good. And we felt so good about it, we would do it over and over again until you finally realized, yo, I'm not doing this no more. I mean, you would walk up and, it was about how, it was about how you, it wasn't about how or whether or not you was going to get fucked up. We was hoping that we would survive, right? But the whole game plan was to ride in this buggy and not get hurt. But if you did get hurt, then the question was, how are you going to work through it? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be able to get up, right? Will you survive good enough? Will you want to do it again? You know what I'm saying? It was fun. But fun is the first three letters of the word funeral. So, either way, right, the truth of the matter is, I remember going in King Ridge Apartments, during that time. You understand? When I would go back to my mother, right, run in the house, show her my scrapes or whatever, and sometimes she would kiss it, you know what I mean, or whatever, like kiss your little hand or whatever. At least that's what I imagine. I've heard that so much time. I don't know if my mother ever did that or not. But, you know what I mean, for those who are following along with me, you know what I mean, I know at least I was able to go and get a Band-Aid. Right? The point I'm making is mama would put the Band-Aid on it. I remember being a child and laying down sick with a fever. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my mother just sitting on the side of the bed, with me. And as she was sitting on the side of the bed, watching me go through my fever, whatever, giving me whatever medicines, whatever she was administering to me at the time, I remember her placing her hand on my forehead, on my neck, and I remember feeling so much love and compassion and warmth, as if though she really did not like to see me in that state. That's all I could feel. Because, as a child, right, it wasn't about what people said. It was about what they showed you, right? Because remember now, we as children, we're very energy sensitive. Well, which brings me to the basis of it all when we speak about black magic. Because the first thing we have to understand is we have to connect with our ancestors. You understand? And the first means of connecting with your ancestors is acknowledging your existence. Hit yourself on the chest. You understand? And simply say, I exist. And as pointed out to us by the kemetic, simple. By virtue of the fact that I exist, that means that everybody that I descend from also exists. Listen, from mother to father, all the way to the original vibration stop. To the original vibration that we are all a part of. Did y'all hear me? We are all a part of an original vibration. Are you understanding? That vibration does not have density. What I mean by that? It does not have body. B-O-D-Y. It is not physical. Insofar as what you understand to be physical. And it supersedes objects. It supersedes materialization. It supersedes manifestation. It is ethereal and as pure and as luminous and as loving as love itself. In fact, it is life because divine love is life. You understand? And so, as pointed out to me, and reminded to me by one of my brothers who is Atunre, right? The real Messiah, whom I love, my brother. You understand? Whom I love, all my brothers. I pointed out because of what he shared with me has been so beautiful and beneficial to my life. And I'm very thankful. However, that vibration is what we're all a part of. You understand? That vibration is what we must reattune ourselves to. Right? When you go into the show and you see where it says, what is Nawapo? Right? And you see where it says, learn to spiritually reattune yourself with your spiritual ancestors. We have yet to begin to start transmitting those tones through this mode of communication, which you all refer to as blog talk radio. Right? Meaning we are in cyberspace. And the real deal is that was all in place for a reason. Why? Because we are constantly about our Father's work, who is Atun Re, right? The first real Messiah, meaning the first to stand on the scene and say, I am Asa, right? Which, of course, Dr. Malachi Z. York, for those who don't know, was born June 26, 1945, in the Sudan. And keep in mind, the area that he was born in is called Ordumani. And understand that Sudan is a vast place, that all of Africa, listen, at one point in time was referred to as Sudan. Because the word Sudan, Arabic word Sud, means black and means two. You see, Sudan meaning two blacks. And this is something that the master teacher, Dr. Malachi of York, made very clear. And he said he put out a tape a long time ago when we were Ansars, referred to as the Reformer for a reason. Because in that tape called The Reformer, for those who may remember, he gives a thorough breakdown and explanation from his own voice and his own reading of his bloodline. You follow that? Starting June 26, 1945, with his own birth. Born on a Tuesday, 12 o'clock, listen, y'all pay attention, a.m. You see? And when you say a.m., you also saying, oh, right? O-M, right? Because the am is a particular type of year, right? According to us as Anunnaki, not Anunnaki. That's a little story. Okay? You know, it's 25,920 years. You know, a.m., like 3 o'clock a.m., am is when everything opens up, right? They call it the super subconscious. Some people call it the witching hour. Well, you know, the word witch is, take out the CH, you get wit. They say this person got quick wit. They just created the word, right, witch from the word wit. You understand? Because they knew witch has to do with a particular type of wisdom. And they say amongst us as Africans, we have what's called witch doctors. Meaning, which doctor will you use for whatever it is that you need? Because we are the medicine men and the medicine women, right? But the word doctor is a Latin word meaning to teach. I just want to put that on record. Doctor, right? So they didn't understand, right? That's another story. We're going to dispel and demystify, right, all the Caucasian myths, right, that they plagued us with, making us afraid to connect with our ancestors and connect with our African spiritual sciences and or Nubian and or Nawapian spiritual sciences for fear that we're doing some type of devil worship, fear that we're doing something wrong. And they created English words like darkness. You follow that? And put that in the English translations of the Bible. So whenever you see darkness in the English translation of the Bible, they're not telling you that if you go and do a research and go back to the language, whatever word they were using, in most cases, you'll see the Arabic word zulama, which means ignorance. They translate the word zulama, which means ignorance, right, to darkness, to make you think that darkness is ignorance, when in fact God created the light. And light, as pointed out to me by the real Messiah, Atunre, the little brother, light had to be let. What I mean by that, because if you open up your Bible, and I have not forgot about the point I was making with Dr. York, you know what I mean? If you open up your Bible, right, we who are your elders, we speak like this for a reason. Okay, we're going to be all over the place. We do that for a reason, because, you know, parables are parallel, and they tie into paradoxes, you know, which is the divine truth, as above, so below, yeah, as inner, so outer, too. Okay? But Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, right? And God said, let there be light. And there's a difference, as pointed out to me by the little brother, the real Messiah, to Ray, between shadow and darkness. You follow that? Darkness is eternal, right? It's called black, a supreme state of balancement called black. It's always was, is, and will ever be. But light had to be let. You follow that? Light had to be given permission to exist. And what I mean by that is darkness is eternal and shadow is only produced when, listen, light hits an object, producing a shadow. The same way the sun's rays, right, the energy of the sun's rays will hit the planet Earth, right, producing a shadow. Right? And in the nighttime, we call it the shadow hours. But what they don't tell you, listen, about the word night, N-I-G, H-T, is, right, why is that G silent? Talk to me. That when we spell out the word night, N-I-G-H-T, right, before you get to the H or the T, if I was just read that, if I was asking a first grader to read this word before I teach them, right, phonetics based on, you know, keeping certain words silent and placing children under a spell by making you spell words that don't make sense. If I was to get you to look at the word night and literally sound it out phonetically, because they say sound it out. Excuse me. Right? When you feel, right, a loss and or trapped or stuck, they say. When you feel stuck in a word, they want you to, right, spell it out or sound it out. Well, okay, nigga, sound out the word night. And what do you get? It comes out to N-I-G, dig. See what I did? Dig. Right? At nighttime, you say nigger time. You know what I'm trying to say? But they don't want you to see that, though. And they don't want you to go into Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Listen. Where it says, there were certain, listen, prophets. You follow that? And teachers, such as Barnabas, which means son of constellation, who was the brother of Jesus. You follow that? Simeon and others who were called niggers. They're letting you know that there were certain prophets, and the Hebrew word is Nebiyuna, which means Nuba or Nabawa or Nuwapians. Those who adhered, listen, to the science of Wu Naba. The word Naba, Wu Naba, it's not a new word. Wu Naba. Naba means prophet, instructor, a great teacher. That's all. And it also means Nubian, black teachers. And who called us black then? The Greeks, who were light-skinned, right? Pink and pale and orange and ghost-colored skin. When they saw us, they marveled, and they called us black. But keep in mind, listen, they're talking about those people who were relatives, blood relatives, such as Barnabas. In Acts 13:1, he was a blood relative to Jesus, whose real name is Yeshua, who is called Jesus, or in Arabic, Yasua. Yasu. Yasu. Which is a way of saying O Su or O Shu. Yashu. An ancient African deity called Shu. And we're going to demystify that too, because a lot of y'all who are African spiritualists are saying there was no Jesus, and I think a lot of y'all are missing the fact and or the point that is the spirit and or the essence and or the ether, the essence of Yeshua. It's an African energy. You understand that? That the Greeks, out of jealousy and or envy, said, well, shouldn't we have our own stories too? You understand? Because they couldn't, relate to the math, which is the M-A-T-H. So they created myth, M-Y-T-H. Why did they add the letter Y? Because it represents a question. And they never got the answers. And why? Because Tahuti, who is in ancient Tamaray, ancient Egypt, is the supreme being. You follow that? The God or the Netir, meaning nature personified, the energy, the resonating being, the resonating ether energy being who created and or invented alchemy. Mathematics, science, art, and music. So Tahuti's, which is your grandfather, for those who are part of our bloodline, because I know Tahuti personally, and was able to meet him in this life, right, through Netir Afeti Atum Ray first, having sat with Netir Afeti Atum Ray, who referred to himself as Netir Tahuti, and also acknowledged himself as the son of Tahuti. And the only way you'll know that to be real is you'd have to understand the science of Tahuti and what he represented. In virtue of this alchemy, which is in your bloodline if you're genetically tied in. It's not for everybody. It's a particular bloodline. Some of us are linked into that descendancy. Some of y'all are listening to me right now has Tahuti in your genes, who's also referred to as Tar, right? P-T-A-H. Why they put a P in front of everything? It was Tar, T-A-H, as in Tar. You follow that? And, they get mad. When the white man got mad at us a long time ago, they called us Tar babies. You're right, nigga. We are the children of Tar. You know what I mean? You follow that? We are the children of Tar, who is also called Inky. Listen, what they don't know. Oh, yeah, there were many different type of Inkys, you know. But the Inky that I speak about, the real Inky, who is the son of Anu, and we'll get into that later. For those who are listening, like, where is he going? Right? I'm speaking to so many different people on so many different levels. in order to corral you and gather your minds in order to transmit this truth. You see, by breaking this here spell. Understand? So where are we at? Right? Let's go back to June 26, 1945, on a Tuesday, 12 o'clock a.m. on a cloudy day. What kind of cloud? Black. Right? Because it was a black shadow hour. You know what I mean? Overcast clouds. And why? Because extraterrestrials were standing and or hovering above the site in which the child was to be born. But there was a mystery about his birth. What child are you talking about, Bodhi? I'm talking about Dr. Malachi Z. York, as you know him. The child who was given the name Isa, right, at birth. And for those Ansars and or people, the Wapians, who don't believe me, I say, good, check it out. Because a lot of people think that Malachi Z. York started calling himself Isa in 1972. A lot of people think that he went to the Sudan in 1972, which was 2 years after opening the Ansar Allah community, and received the name and called himself Isa, right, to try to make himself out to be some savior. Right? Why did I say that? Because, first off, let me just try to get it to you real good. If you go to Sudan, where the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, was born, and I'm going to talk about the Congo and Ghana and all that too. Don't think I won't. To tie it all in to show y'all how it's all connected now. Okay? All right. The master teacher was born Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi. Al-Mahdi, right, the word Mahdi, M-A-H-D-I, is an Egyptian word. Right? They say Arabic. Right? Arab simply means to wander and or to move about. Egyptian meaning Tamaraean word. Mahdi, Huda. The root of the word Mahdi is Huda, which means to guide. Right? It's also found in the Bible in Genesis when they speak about the tribe of Judah, they say Yahuda. Right? His real name is Yahuda, which means old guide. Right? Or praise be the guides. But the tribe of Judah was the family in the Bible in Genesis, right, that was the most rebellious. Right? They were the least religious, but the most spiritual. All of the chosen people, right, that came in your Bible that had a particular duty, a particular job, was of the tribe of Judah. You understand? Why? That's the tribe that Yahweh or El Yahuwah chose to convey his messages. And we'll get into that too, maybe at a later time. For those who are listening and or tuning in, first off, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to the show. This show is called What is the Wapo? Right? Many of you refer to the signs of the Wapo as Wunabu. Right? And the day's topic is black magic and the science of the inner crystal. And the reason why we're speaking like this first is because we want to set a tone at tuning. You understand? Because, again, when we speak, we're speaking to so many different types of people on so many types of different type of levels. You understand? That we have to, what appears to be, go in a circle, but yet from the center out, so that all minds are gathered quickly, so that we can raise up together. You understand? Because the time, like we said, is now. All right? And to clear up a lot of the misinterpretations and misconceptions, you know what I mean, that's in the mental plane. And by the way, Melchizedek, Michael, who is my ruler, my rightful ruler, and my spiritual father, right, controls the mental plane. And Melchizedek, Malachi Zadok, without question is Malachi Zadok, who you are referring to as Malachi Kubina York or whatever name. We're going to really get into an explanation as to what the word Kubina really means too. All right? What it really means. Okay? In accordance to the science of decoding and the science of alchemy. All right? Okay. So, June 26, 1945, the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, was born at 12 o'clock at a tiny little village in Ordnament, Sudan. Right? Born to a mother by the name of Mary. See that? Sound familiar? Who's also called Fatima, which takes us to the book of Revelations in your Bible, chapter 12. Right? Open up your Bible to the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 1, and it reads, and I quote, "And I saw a great wonder in heaven, right? A woman clothed with the sun, see, and the moon under her feet, and 12 stars, a crown of 12 stars round about her head. if you are an Ansar, meaning an aid of Allah, and you follow Imam Isa al-Hadi al-Makti of Fizullah, then you would remember what the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, right, as Imam Isa told us a long time ago, right, or revealed to us a long time ago about that particular scripture, which none of the other scholars or theologians had any idea, right? You know what I mean? Nobody could break down or explain or demystify the book of Revelations except for, truthfully, except for Dr. Malachi York, right, who is Isa mentioned in Revelation chapter 5, verse 5, all right? Meaning the only one qualified to break the 7 seals and unleash this here right knowledge, this universal truth. You follow that? All right. But what did he say? Well, he said that woman was Fatima. Then he told us at yet another time, right, that is dual, meaning it has a dual meaning, a dual representation, that not only does it represent Fatima, but it also represents Mary. You follow that? Because we know that Fatima, listen, is the best of the daughters of paradise. You see? Meaning the companions of paradise. Meaning daughters of Anu. If you were to go into your holy tablets and look at a picture of Fatima, you'll see that the way her silhouette is in terms of her hair, the way she has her hair, and look at a picture of Anu, you'll see that it's identical. A very special female, which made John, son of Zebedee, right, who was one of the disciples and or friends of Yeshua, Jesus, right, which made him say, wow, this is a great wonder. You know what I mean? A pure, virtuous woman. Proverbs chapter 31. And who can find a virtuous woman for a price is worth far more than rubies? You know what I mean? Gems, diamonds, gold, right? They should have listed all. Onyx. You follow that? They say, who could find a virtuous woman? That's an inner virtue. You understand? Well, the virtuous woman of Proverbs 31, the best examples of that in that day, or now and or forever has ever been, is Fatima. You see? Who was and is the daughter, listen, of Rasulullah Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. And we know that Muhammad, you see, coming from the tribe of Ishmael, who was listen, Abraham had a son named Ishmael. Ishmael had a son named Kedar, listen, which is why we set up the tents of Kedar. And from the bloodline of Kedar came Muhammad. You see? And all gratitude is Anu. I want to point this out. It's a blessing to have your memory restored. Because that which I speak now, I'm not speaking as a student. I'm speaking as a rememberer. You see? Because by now, many of us should have total recall and or the ability to re-see it all. Well, in that day, Muhammad, alayhi salatu wasalam, had a cousin and son-in-law who was my other, meaning myself, in that life. Because many of us have lived from body to body, shell after shell, as repeated incarnations. The same way Dr. Malachi York, chapter 19, tablet 6 of your holy tablets, tells you all that he himself is a repeated incarnation, having lived body after body, life after life, shell after shell. Well, what about you? We would love to brag and say what he is, but what about you? He says, I'm only a reflection of you, and I'm only an example of what it is that you could achieve as an etheric being, a divine being, and a physical being too. You understand? Because what they don't know and what they won't say is that Malachi York is the wealthiest man that ever lived. I know y'all don't know that, but I do. Follow that? And that's another story, which is one of the reasons why they had to try to figure out a way to stop him. He broke every code. You follow that? That they ever created. Why? Because every code that they created was really something that they didn't create at all. They got it from the code of Hammurabi. And Hammurabi means Ham is my rabbi. And Ham is Cam, which is Kim, which is, listen, where you get the word chemistry and or the mysteries of Kim from. And Cam is really Ham in the Bible. And Ham is the father of Misra, which means Mitzrayim, right? Which is where you get the word Egypt from. So they say the Code of Hammurabi is a system of ethics, a code of ethics in which Nimrod used to produce and or, how should I say, father Babylon. And from Babylon you get Greece and then Rome and now the new Rome, which is America. I had to put all that on record. So what makes you think that inside of our genetic code, we don't have the ability to break every code that they created, which is why we say our mission here, right, is to master the currency. But they don't play fair. You follow that? They create a system based on, listen, putting me and you under stress to pay Bill Gates. I got to pay bills. Bill, which is short for William, you know, Shakespeare. You follow what I'm trying to say? Everybody got to pay bills. Gates. See? However, what's encoded in you and what's encoded in me is the ability, as it says in Ezekiel chapter 28, to destroy their system, to defile their wisdom. You follow that? And bring them down to the pit where they belong. Six-pointed star and our alchemy. Trap them. Let's trap the devil. Remember that? Oh, yeah. Don't worry, y'all. I'm going somewhere. Hey, this morning, you're all over the place. Yeah. All gratitude and praise to Anu. We got to be all over the place so that you can get in place and in line and in tune so we can do what we got to do. Right? I mean, for real now. Time to take over. Revelation chapter 4, verse 4. GBI, CBI, CIA, FIA, GIA, all of them eyes. I saw a beast filled with eyes within and without that was made to bow down before he that sat upon the throne. And who was the he in Revelation 4 that they said that these beasts filled with eyes within and without, which all of your eyes, CIA, GBIs, FBIs, who are they made to bow down to? Is the question. They were made to bow down to Melchizedek. It says, he that sat upon the throne had an emerald face. Emerald is green. And they call, listen, in ancient Egypt, on the walls you see a description of Tahuti, who the Bible referred to as Melchizedek. Melchizedek, an angel of fairness. You follow that? A priest after the Zadokite priesthood. Forever. A Meldekian priest, because meaning Meldekian is only the suit that we're wearing. That's the greater truth. Pointed out to me by the little brother, I truly reign, the real Messiah. However, when they see the description of Melchizedek on the walls of the pyramid, they depict him as green, having greenish skin. The Muslims said Nabi Kinder, which means the messenger, the green one. Nabi El-Kinder, El-Kinder. Akdar, the word Akdar means green. Yeah, they know about Nabi Kinder. And yeah, they know that he's mentioned in the Quran, chapter 2, verse 98, we're going somewhere, as Mikael. Okay? So now, we get it all together, start to tie it all in. All right? Oh, yeah. So all of us who are listening here today, right, have been here multiple times. You understand? Many, many lives. You understand? For the great purpose. And that's why we're so familiar with each other. They say familiar spirits. Yeah, familiar souls. You understand? And that's why certain parts of the Bible that the Romans touched says, don't consult familiar spirits, meaning don't get in touch with your family. They don't want you tuning into your family, but they tune into theirs. As the master teacher pointed out in a book called What is Nuapo? Right? They got a man, I forget his name, Edward somebody, John Edwards, who did a show with teaching white people how to make contact with their ancestors. He called himself a medium, and he channels messages from the dead to the living. Understanding that the dead exist on a parallel dimension right next to this one. But when white people, when they die, their energy becomes ghost. And eventually will rise again. You follow? Because when ghost dies, it becomes non-ether. But ghost is death. So he's able to contact the dead through a system of necromancy huh? And able to channel information and give it to his white audience. That was cool. You follow that? But we do it, they call it devil worship and saying something evil. What is their fear? Why do they have such a fear of me and you making contact with our ancestors? Because the rule is the ancestors, listen, are all around you. But unless you reach out to them and to call upon them, they cannot help you. That's the rule. And all the love that they carry, all the truth that they carry is inside of you. All the power that they carry is now all around you. Tap into it and pull it in. You see? However, I wanted to point that out because one of the things that the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z, also pointed out in the show is that, in the book, What is Nuwapu, is that Gina, from the Martin Lawrence show, what's her name? Keisha Martin, right? What's her name? I forgot her name. I think her name was Martin. Last name was Martin, right? Okay, but either way, Gina from the Martin show, she was on there too, on that show. And they saw, and the man said he saw pyramids and Egyptians, right? And her face was on the walls of ancient Tamarine. Same way now, there's many on YouTube that they found Barack Obama's face on the walls of ancient Egypt too. And Barack Obama, Barack L, was one of our best teachers in yet another plane of existence. Another story. Either way, okay, let me tie it back in, because I'm going to go back to June 26th, and then we're going to touch on this crystal, inner crystal, and a little bit more about black magic. And then we're going to end the show. You know what I mean? Because this is just the preparation, right? Because what we've been expecting, as the sister Vicky pointed out to me the other day, is already manifested, meaning it's on its way. You follow that? Yeah, we, by way of our ancestors, will rise and rule again. That is the infinite possibility that is now becoming a definite reality, which is their fear of Nuwapu and Wu Nabu. Or African spiritual science, don't matter as long as you tap it into it. You know, because it makes you feel loving and happy and dynamic. The most positive, the most powerful energy that you get. It ain't mystery, it ain't spooky. It's the same energy you felt from your great-grandmother. And I'm going to tap into that in a second. Right? We'll get into that. All right? So, we talked about how all of us have been here. And I said to you all that I had the pleasure of sitting with one of my brothers who is Atunre, the real Messiah. You follow that? Who name in Om, his name is Muklis, which the brother Mafus explained that to me, that he actually saw the card, for those who are listening. Right? Mafus is an old Ansar whose wife, Bahija, drew all the pictures in the holy tablets. I asked Mafus about the little brother's card that Pop gave him. Right? Well, the Pop sent the little brother an own card which says Muklis. Well, the word Muklis is found in the holy tablets, and it means purified savior. Right? There's supposed to be 144,000 Muklasina. That's all. Purified souls. And the only way you can purify yourself is through the green light. Right? Which is, what the master teacher has sent me, or the elders or the ancestors have sent me, right, to the African conscious community. Right? It's time for you all to learn how to tune yourselves inwardly. Right? And get that green light too. That divine energy. So you're dealing with your ancestors and your heavenly ancestors too, Right? It's like, you know what I mean? Y'all are fighting with just one leg. You need both legs underneath you in order to walk. And eventually run, and eventually fly. Right? So a lot of you all who are African spiritualists, right, you missed what the master teacher Malachi Z came to give. Which is why their brothers like Hotep Talamun, Hoteptalehamun, Hotep Talamun, known as Leon Moss, right, who is a spiritual master of the green light. Right? I am also a spiritual master. Right? Only in so much as I acknowledge the spiritual master, who is, without question, the Tir Authority Atum Ray, known as Dr. Malachi Z. Right? A spiritual master is one who is able to impart spiritual wisdom, listen, in order to negate spiritual ignorance. Right? We're not just interested in ignorance. It's the spiritual ignorance that we're concerned with. Right? So there's many degrees of spirituality. For those who are pouring out libation to your ancestors and all that, yo, that's what's up. Keep that going. And for those who want to go higher and make an even higher connection, to you I say, right? Attune yourself to that pure green light. Learn the ways of the Wapo. Let me say that again because a call is coming through. Learn the ways of Wunabu. Right? The Wapo, the Wapo, the Wapo, the Wapo. Are y'all walking with us? I hope so, because it's our time now. Yeah. All right, so a phone call was trying to come in. It was throwing me off a little bit, but y'all walk with me and bear with me too, okay? Okay? So, after having sat with the little brother Atun Ray, I received a gift referred to as monotonic. And there's many types of monotonics, minerals, but, you know, don't get it twisted. The monotonics is only as good as the alchemist who spins it. And a lot of people, right, are getting their monotonics from various people like Blair, I forgot his name, Blair, I forget his name, Blair Blake, or who, like Delbert Blake, or David Blair, people like that. That's cool. I'm saying there's a higher spin to it now. Because when you say monotonic, you say high-spin M-state materials. Where am I going with this? Well, high-spin M-state materials. That means it's only as high as the alchemist who spins it. What is monotonic? It's called white powder gold. Right? Remember in the book of Genesis chapter 2, they say the gold in that land was good. And if you are an Anawapian or a Zachariah Stitchin type, right, your impression or interpretation is that the gold they were speaking about was for the purpose of mining gold to, you know, send back to the planet Risk when they went to Mono Dapa, which is in South Africa, and the Anunnaki, right, which is the extraterrestrial beings, came to the planet Earth and started breeding Lulu Hamalu, right, Adamites, y'all get this in your head, right, and, you know, with mine for gold, they tell you that the reason why man was created in Genesis 2:4, because there was no man to till the ground, meaning no man to work the damn mines, right, to get in there and get the gold. They was but Iki started wearing the gold. Y'all know all that. I'm not talking about that, right? When Iki or Eliyahuah says that the gold in that land was good, the secret is good for what? It was good for alkalining your body. It was good for attuning yourself, right? It was good for conducting electricity in your body. Meaning, did you know that your body is 3/4 water, and the water in your body will conduct electricity? Right? Well, when you have enough monotonic minerals, particles, and elements in your body, right? You move from being a conductor of electricity to a superconductor of electricity, right? They call it Superman or Superwoman. Truth of the matter is, it is us that they admired. You see, and saw that we were gods doing supreme things as supreme beings, having 9 degrees of infinite knowledge. Infinite right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding. And we only taught the Hindus 6 degrees. Right? And the Hindus, right, had more degrees than the Caucasians because we only taught them 3 degrees. You see? And the Hindus kept more of the information that we gave them, but added the red light to it, therefore it's tainted. So amongst the Hindus, there were certain ones that did convert to 9 ether, such as Kadasi. The word Kadasi is referring to the 13th elder, Kadasi, which means 2 belonging to the Holy One. Kadasi is in your holy tablets with white hair. His name is also called Rama. He was Hindu. We converted him. And now, as pointed out to me by the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, he is the most powerful mental medium in all of the boundless universe. What is a medium? A being who's able to receive transmissions from worlds, universes, dimensions, you know what I mean, planets, people. I mean, you know, nigga, please, I won't even be overseas. I met Kadasi, you follow, through my brother, Atun Ray. You follow that meaning? But Kadasi is not what you think. You're talking about etheric Atun beings who can appear in anything and anybody at any time. These beings are no joke, man. But anyway, they're linked into our ancestry. They learned all of these science from us, y'all. And now we forgot it. That's why they call us the sleeping giants. That's why they don't want you to tap into black magic. That's why they want you to fear voodoo. Yeah, you got a lot of evil people that use voodoo against you. Somebody get mad, right, at this woman, she done stole this woman's man, and now this woman is stirring a pot and trying to sit, right? And you wonder why so every now and then we got to clean up certain places. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the misuse of the science. It used to be a unified purpose now. And that's what we have to do again. Unify in the purpose by first causing you to remember the purpose in the first place, which is restoring divine order and maintaining universal order. Love. Because without it, we have nothing. But I'm talking about high force, positive love. Not earthly human love. That is all based on selfishness, you know. And there's many types of fish in the sea. And the only one that we don't need is the shellfish. Take it and throw it back in the water. This is what the little brother would say. Are y'all walking with me? All right? So, yeah. What happened? Going back to the bloodline and tying it all in. Muhammad, alayhi salam, had a cousin and son-in-law who was myself, Ali. You don't believe me? Look at all the tablets. Y'all see me right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, every life that you ever lived, you look similar. You know what I'm saying? Well, I've lived life after life, too. I was Ham, the son of Noah. But I must admit it. Yep, truth is truth. My wife was Halima then, and she's here with me now. She stressed me out there. She's stressing me out today. Yeah, and I can explain to you what really happened with the Noah situation. Because Anak, whom I know personally in this life, too. Yeah, she harassed us then, and she harassed us now in this life. You follow? Yeah, my confidence did fall, and I was possessed. You follow that? For a short period. And yeah, you know, my sons were already born. You follow that? My son, Libna, was already born. And he was cursed with Filipatigo. You follow that? That was then. But yeah, I'm Ham in that life. Truth is truth. And I came again as Irmiah, which is why the master teacher called me Irmiah. I was one of the 12 disciples of Melchizedek then, from the tribe of Judah. You follow that? Known as Jeremiah. That was me. Who are you? I mean, don't get mad. You know what I mean? I was the Magi. Going to holy tablets, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you see me right there, my face plain as day, as the third of the 24 elders. My name is Melkor, simply meaning Allah is my ruler, or Melchizedek is my ruler, really, Melkor. They translated it as Allah is my ruler. You see? And it also represents, I am Ezebuk El, meaning he who converted to becoming an agreeable being, a Magi, right? A prisoner confined to Anu. And I also came again. It was known as Ali, Mir Mukmin Ali, right? The commander of the faithful, meaning the one who was giving orders to the faithful, those who would keep the faith, the pure faith of what my father-in-law, you see, and cousin Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam was actually trying to give, which is an Egyptian doctrine, because the word Mukmin simply means Amun. He said, well, Bodhi, what are you talking about? Well, go into your holy tablets and look at the picture of Fatima. You'll see that it's identical, right? She looks exactly like my ex-wife, Fawzia. Anybody know me? Anybody know my family? Nigga, please, don't believe me. Check it out. Look at Fatima. She looks exactly like Fawzia. And understand that we had a son whose name is Hassan, right? Who named Hassan? My father, who is Malachi of York. He gave him that name. So you think it's a coincidence that me and Fawzia or Fatima had a son named Hassan? And one of our children was miscarried, you see, which is Hussein, Hassan and Hussein in this life. It all, nigga, please, everybody that was there then is here right now. That's why Pop says in the Spiritual Journey CD, he says, open up your real self and reveal it to everybody else. Let everybody know that the ancient ones, the Elohim, right? Or the Quran would say the Awaluna, the first ones, right? As you would say, the old ones, are here again. Here, now, and forevermore. Why? Until we get it right. You see? So it's from our bloodline, meaning myself and Fatima, right? Who was, by the way, Fatima is the real successor of Muhammad. In the Quran, chapter 33, verse 40, right? It says, and I quote, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It says, Muhammad laysa kana abi, right? Ayi rajul minhum. What does that mean? Muhammad was not the father of any of you men. Meaning, nobody could ever say, no man could ever say that Muhammad is my father. Because Allah knew that the enemies of Allah, the enemies of Anu, the enemies of Ahlul Bayt, the family, the bloodline, the sacred bloodline in which the Mahdi would come from, y'all walk with me. Right? They knew they would hate our bloodline, and they would not want that gene, that divine DNA to tumble. So the masters, the elders, the high ones who sit on high, are the masters of fake left, go right. You understand what I'm saying? Fake left, go right, meaning everybody thought that bloodline is carried from father to son. I'm sorry, successorship is carried from father to son, when in fact, the word successor, listen, bilughatu Arabiya, in the Arabic language, is Khalifa. And that the word Khalifa means successor. But the word Khalifa has a tarbabuta at the end of it. See? Ha? Watch. Kaf, lam, ya. Watch. Fa. Fa. Tarbabuta. K-H-A-L-I-F-A. And when you see a tarbabuta at the end of a word, it's a feminine gender. Right? Allah is the master of fake left, go right. Everybody was looking for the successorship, the bloodline of Rasulullah to be in a man. When in every way, the secret, which is no longer a secret, was that it was in the seed of Fatima. Revelation chapter 12. I saw a great wonder in the heavens. A woman clothed with like the sun, having the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars. What was that sun? The glory of the Son of Righteousness that will come through her DNA. Talk to me. The moon under her feet, the crescent, as in the fertile crescent. Right? You were taught that that was the seal. It symbolized the seal of the prophet who was Muhammad from the tribe of Ishmael, and the 12 stars were the 12 sons of Ishmael. Right? You understand? Yet in every way, when you see the real Fatimas amongst you, the daughters of Anu standing up, you follow that? Coinciding with Mary, because the word Mary means to rebel. And the one who rebelled was Isis, who rebelled against Ra, because she wanted the sacred word. Well, when you see the purified Fatima and the purified Mary, who is Isis, when you see those women standing up and or standing together, then the moon will be under their feet, meaning there will never be another moon cycle again. Follow that? The moon will be no more. And we talked about that. It was made it very clear long time ago. Right? When we did, when the little brother, Atul Ray, the real Messiah, did a show and made it public, right, that the moon will explode soon and become a third sun in the sky. I say third sun for a reason. Producing and or making planet Earth a three-sun environment, a tri-star environment. You said, where's the other sun? It's in the center of the Earth. I was talking to my stepdaughter. She said, well, no, it's called the core. I said, yeah, and what does core mean? Cold ray, the second sun. Hello? You know. Right? So you got the sun that sits in the center of the solar system. Then there will be a new sun. Then there will be one in the center of the Earth. And there's one in you, too, now. Because on this side of the mirror, there's always two things you can see and one thing you cannot. However, we are on the other side of the mirror, where there's three things you'll see and one thing you will not. Meaning you cannot see the light in you. But that light in you is the secret and or the key to black magic. You understand? When you learn to attune yourself with that light, and it brings about the inflammation versus misinformation. You follow that? When you learn to inflame yourself and center yourself and channel and conduct yourself properly, which is what we will be teaching people in the ancient Egyptian order. Walk with me. Are y'all walking with us? I hope y'all are hearing me now. All praise and gratitude to Ilion. All right? Where we at? Come on, man. Where that thought go? Come on, Bodhi. Thought, Tahuti, thought, Tahuti, bloodline. Okay, got it. Oh, yeah. So now the moon, when we put that out, everybody thought we was crazy when the little brother said that. You know what I'm saying? And he started explaining that you're going to see orange around the moon, you see a rainbow, right? Then you'll see blue, the moon will be blue, then it'll go orange, and then it'll ignite. And it's going to ignite into a flame and become another sun in the sky. Well, take that much time and go to your internet and go to Google or Yahoo or Dogpile, whatever search engine you choose, and do a research, listen, on Nibiru, Germany, 2010. Type it in just like that. Nibiru. Germany, Germany. 2, the number 2, 0, 1, and 0. What will you see? Well, you will see what the local news in Germany, listen, did a report. And in that report, right, a broadcast, they show you people on the street looking up, pointing at the fact that there was a second sun in the sky. Hello, what happened? Where the moon usually is, they say that they can see a second sun in the sky. I saw the pictures myself. Nobody could explain it but us, meaning we who are your elders. Because, as pointed out to me by the little brother, Atun Ray, it represented a plane overlapping. Planes of existence are now overlapping, meaning there are multiple points of now, which you call time. Are you understanding that? And time is an illusion. However, it appears to be real because they created a circular clock, right? Or, a concoction with numbers. And it now gives you the impression that time is moving forward. And you can move it backwards to see what happened in past and or future. When all they really are multiple points of now, which you can tap into at any given time, merely by thinking, by seeing the future, by being still, or seeing what you call the past, which are nothing but multiple points. Because let me ask you this, when you're thinking about what happened yesterday, as you call it, right? There's no yes today. There's no, because it's not here today, right? But when you think about different points, right, of events and or incidents or experiences that happen in your life, right? Are you not in the very moment, meaning you're sitting down right now thinking about something that you see right now? So how could it be in the past when you see it right now? How could it be in the future when you're looking at it right now? See? Because there are multiple points of now, multiple realities, as pointed out to us and explained by the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, in the Man from Planet Risk book, right? Because now it's interdimensional, So what happened? Why were they able to see these suns, these stars in Germany? I'm sorry, the damn second sun in Germany. Why were they able to see it? Because they were looking at a veil being lifted. You understand? A point of now that was able to be seen. The same way John, son of Zebedee, looked through the stargate in Revelations 1:7. They say he was taken up in the spirit on the Lord's day. You follow that? And they say that he was able to see all the events of what's taking place right now. And he was seeing them not as if though they were not happening. He saw it while they were happening in a place called now. So stay forever in the now. Now. Because the now is wrapped up in a beautiful little gift that you call the present. That's why they call it a present. So stay present where ego cannot dwell. Stay with us. All right? We did a further research for those who need it. Don't believe me, check it out. Those who need facts, right? Physical things, evidence. Well, we did a further research. All praise and gratitude is I knew. And we found on YouTube, they, do a research on the moon, the black surface on the moon. Right? And finding out that there's smoke coming out of the moon. I once asked a little brother, I should read the real Messiah. I said, yo, dog, how is that moon going to explode? And he reminded me that there are black flammable substance, highly flammable ether, black ether that is on the moon. You follow that? And these things, these ethers, have the ability to implode and have been due for that for a long time. And when it does, it will ignite and produce the sun, which has already happened in yet another plane of existence, and you all will experience it shortly here now. And what does that mean? Oh yeah, they admit it, right? Chinese astronomers admit it, that there's smoke coming from the moon. They want to know, why is there smoke coming from the moon? Look it up. And when you look at the surface of the moon, it is gray. Gray color for the smoke, right? Well, where there's smoke, where there is smoke, there is fire. That fire is coming from the black ether that is now starting to inflame itself. And now starting to explode. And soon, this atmosphere will be risk. R-I-Z-Q, risk. Which is an Arabic word meaning provisions. And we are the riskians of then and now, those who are willing and are still willing to take the most risk. For we took the risk and the responsibility for this now desolate place called Project Blue Rock, which will be Project Green Rock by the time we're done with it. You know. Are y'all walking with me? Okay? So now, what happened? From the bloodline of Rasulullah through my wife Fatima and our sons Hassan and Hussein, right? And our seed, the secret seed, went into Sudan eventually and married in to the family of Jesus, who's called Yahshua or Yahshua. Meaning, what they don't say is that Jesus had children, 5 children. Biga, Hude, Senande, Iglal, and yet a new one. But the one we want to focus on is called Biga, who's also called the BG tribe, the BG, you see. And they went into Sudan and married into the family of Rasulullah through Fatima, our children, and produced this new, what you call the BG tribe and or Nubian Islamic Hebrews, you see, or whatever you want to call us, however way you want to name it. It was a marrying in of the family of Muhammad and the family of Jesus. When you talk to, and I've done it, I spoke to a person from Sudan and Somalia on the streets as an Ansar. He laughed at me and said to me that the perception of Jesus over here in the Western Hemisphere is funny to them, he said. He said, because we know back home who Jesus really was, an African. We had a bunch of kids, and one of his kids was called the Biga tribe, and they survived to this day. Well, you don't think Prince Henry knew that? Prince Henry, the navigator from Portugal, right, went into the east part of Africa. How come he didn't go to West Africa? I'll tell you why. John Hawkins and them figured it out. That you're not going to make slaves out of everybody on the West Coast, you know, because of voodoo running from my magic. X-Plan, peace and love. You see, they know a lot of those guys, a lot of those people had the science of the ancestors working with them. We were fucking them crackers up. Or I don't want to call them crackers because they like that. We was fucking them Celts up. Them cave dwelling, diseased lepers up. We were, man, please, nigga, please. They couldn't, nigga, please. Right? So they went into Sudan and started kidnapping, not just Sudan, but all of the east coast of Africa. You follow that? And started kidnapping the nomadic tribes amongst the nomadic people, where you had the, you know what I mean, the witch doctors and the medicine men. You follow that? The speakers, the teachers, the healers, the scientists. These were not warring class people. The peacemakers. Jesus says in Matthew chapter 5, verse 8, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Are y'all understanding? Well, he went and took that seed from Sudan. You follow that? The Muslims. The ones who came from the bloodline of Rasulullah. The ones, you get what I mean? The ones who are from our family bloodline took us from Sudan, a lot of us, and brought us over here. Not to mention the fact that a lot of us were already here. Right? I want to get that on record too now. Yabasi, meaning old messiahs. We were the gentle ones. That was on, that was in America too. Don't think that all niggas over here, right, are from Africa, meaning the continent that you call Africa. Don't think that. That's a lie. They know it. A lot of us that were so-called slaves were Native Americans, niggas with nappy hair, big lips, you know what I'm saying, and big noses, wide hips and all that good stuff, broad shoulders, broad features. We were already here as Native Americans, the original Native Americans. You follow that? Because they say it's called Pangea. Well, how about Pan-Africa? It was all one Africa, one place, really, one Nubia. And then it split. So everybody that was on this side state was already here. Everybody on that side was already here. And some people walked over here already. You follow that? But I'm saying don't nigga please. They kidnapped Yamasi, they kidnapped Shoshone, they kidnapped Blackfeet, right? They kidnapped all of the original Nubian tribes of people who were already here. Don't believe that American Indian crap. Indians were nothing but people who came from the East Indian through the Bering Strait, moved to Alaska as Eskimos, came to Oklahoma as Redskins, and mixed in with us, Africans who are already here. And us as Africans mixed in with the seed of Hoshim, the Chinese, producing Mexicans and all them sub-races, nigga, please, we was already here. So don't give me that. We don't believe that all niggas over here were slaves. Bullshit. That some of us were not. Some of us were free men. Okay? Free men. A lot of us were sellouts, but were free. You know what I mean? I can't admit it. Ben York and them were sellouts, but they were free until they were kidnapped and sold into slavery. Right? Old York and them was kidnapped and sold into slavery. But they were walking as free men. Okay? Y'all understanding me? I got to get all this on record for a reason. All right? So, a lot of that seed, right, of Fatima that mixed in with Jesus seed, Jesus family, the Vega tribe, some of us were, in fact, brought over here to the East Coast. Right? And that's why they set up cities in North Carolina called Salem, and in Massachusetts called Salem, which is shalom, meaning peace or safety, is what it means. Coming from one of the sons of Enlil called Shalom, which they don't know. What they don't know. Enlil had two sons, Shakar and Shalom, which means dawn and evening. They don't know that. They think they do. All right? So now, where am I going with all this? From that lineage of people that were brought over here, sprung out a woman by the name of Fatima, the Islamic name, who's also called Mary C. York. You understand that? And Mary York traveled to Africa, Sudan, and encountered a man named Al-Hadi al-Mahdi, who was a direct descendant of the Mahdi. Who is the Mahdi? Right? Why am I going into all this? Because y'all, I'm going to tell y'all some real good stuff, man. Before y'all can really get into black magic, y'all better understand, nigga, please, the highest science of it and who to tune yourself with. Because there's so much African spiritual doctrine and African ancestry, this, that, and the third. Nigga, you don't know who you're lining up with. And it's the one thing that we, as the Wapians, always had the ability to do was teach anything that we taught in its pristine purity. Yes or no? We taught Islam in its pristine purity. We taught Christianity in its pristine purity. We teach Judaism in its pristine purity. Egyptology in its, what do I mean by in its pristine purity? Meaning we take it to the root, man. Root knowledge. You have to go to the root of it all in order for you to understand it. Because if you don't go to the root, then the question then becomes, well, how then will you understand it? Are y'all understanding me? All right? So that's why it's so important We are the Mahdi family. For those of y'all that are listening to me, that is in tune with this discussion, that had experiences with green light as children, that are positive, loving, divine beings, right? Y'all are the ones we're talking to. Many are called, few are chosen. This information is not for the many, it's only for the few. And why? Because we have to bring in the African kingdom. When you say, well, Bodhi, Africa is a cuss word. Africa means to be separated and or divided. It's a Greek word, right? Yes, it comes from the Arabic word faraka. Faraka means to separate and to split something up. Well, in the science of Nawapo Munapo, we take that which is evil and turn it good. You understand? Well, they intended to use the word Africa against us, but now we're going to use it for us. How you like that? Farah, meaning faraka, for this rock, nigga. The blue rock will now be the green rock we take it over. And it's going to happen through these transmissions and through the science of our ancestors and the powers of our ancestors. Our spiritual family, etheric family that are rising up, the ancient ones are coming down and up from out of the grounds, and they are going to kick these crackers' ass. And y'all ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to go buy no hoodie and some Skittles and make them richer. So, nigga, please ask your ancestors what to do. Your grandmother divine, your grandfather divine. You follow? Not just for you and your own little life, but so that we can bring in perfect divine order again in this new African kingdom. Hello. Which is what they don't want to see. However, they won't be able to stop it. Because as the brother Kepri Tar and Nikki Love pointed out on the Nikki Love radio show, which I support. In fact, we're going to be on the show tonight at 10 p.m. The call-in number is 347-215-8040. For those who want to call in and get some guidance on what to do, how to reattune yourself to your African ancestors, starting with yourself, your grandmother, your grandfather, and your great-grandmother and grandfathers too. All the way, which is what we offer through ancient Egyptian order, to the original vibration. And then once again, like I'm telling y'all, in the African community, this conscious community, y'all better listen to me, and get this here green light, and learn how to tune into the purple, that violet energy, to that black light, and understanding how black light is as the reflection of El Kulum, the all. And how, when you close your eyes, blackness dominates. That means we can be anywhere at any given time. We are the omnipresent ones. Hello, heaven high. Are y'all walking with me? All right? So now, Mary York eventually linked up with, listen, the grandson of the Mahdi. And a lot of people ask me, well, Bodhi, who is this Mahdi that you keep talking about? And the same that I explained to you before. The Mahdi al-Mahdi, you see, was, they call him the Sudanese Mahdi. They did a movie about him. He used black magic to whip their asses too. Y'all better get back to the black magic. In fact, I want everybody in the listening audience, when you get a chance, to do a research. There's a movie, a TV show, there's a movie that came out in the 40s. It was called Khartoum. How you spell it? Khartoum. Khartoum. What does it mean? Well, Khartoum is the capital city of Sudan. What happened in the movie? Well, in the movie, they had a white man, a great white actor, called Sir Laurence Olivier. Right? Sir Laurence Olivier playing the part of Zeus. I'm sorry, he played Zeus in Clash of the Titans. Look at that shit. Right? He always played important people. But he also played the Mahdi. Now, how is it they got a white man playing the Mahdi? Well, how did they paint him? They showed his skin as all black. Meaning, Sir Laurence Olivier wore blackface. Right? I want to put all that on record. And it wasn't no myth, it wasn't no mystery, it wasn't a fairy tale. They told the real story of what really happened in Sudan. Well, they lied at the end, you know, they always do. You follow what I'm trying to say. But if you go to Islamic Sharia, which means Islamic history, they say in their hadith, they admit, that Muhammad, alayhi salatu wasalam, said that there would be one who would come after him. You follow that? Who would be the expected one, who will guide the people. You follow that? And re-instill Islam in its pristine purity. And they say that you will know him because of these attributes. They say he would reign for 7 years. The Mahdi reigned from 1863 to 1870. They say he will have a high forehead. Have you seen the pictures of the Mahdi that the master teacher, Dr. Malachi, put out? Having a high forehead? Huh? They say he will have a mole on his right cheek. Did you see the mole on his right cheek? And a gap between his teeth. Here's the clincher. His mother's name would be Amina. His father's name would be Abdullah. Just as Muhammad's mother's name is Amina. And his father's name is Abdullah. Now, count all that up. That's more than 7 qualifications to be considered to be the Mahdi. And keep in mind, there were many beings who stood on the scene claiming to be the Mahdi. Farrakhan is a liar. I love the brother, but when he stand on the scene 2005 at the, Million Man March, again, 10 years anniversary, he stands on the scene and says, in the name of Allah and the true Mahdi, W.F. Muhammad. Nigga, you please, you still saying that? Well, W.F. Muhammad didn't fit any of the bills. His mother's name was not Amina. His father's name was not Muhammad. He did not reign 7 years. He only reigned 4 years, according to you. Right? He did not have a gap in his left, in his teeth. All right? And nor did he have a bone on his right cheek. So, according to the explanation and the description of the Mahdi, did W.F. Muhammad, Wallace Dort, Fard, Muhammad, did he fit the attribute and or the bill? Yes or no? No, he didn't. The Mahdiya, right, and these other sects have come along claiming to be the Mahdi. Did they fit the bill? No. So we move on from that. However, in the year 1845, the Mahdi, Muhammad Ahmed, was born. You understand? To a woman by the name of Amina and his father being named Muhammad. I'm sorry, Abdullah, excuse me. Abdullah and Amina. All right. Well, who was he? He was a mystic. What is that? M-Y-S-T-I-C. Meaning he dealt with mysticism. He was in tune with the elements. What elements? Ta, earth, mu, water, nefu, air, satuk, fire, hu, divine love. Universal divine love. Ta, mu, nefu, set, hu. You see? The creative force of will, which is the secret name of Allah. Right? Because in the Quran they say Allah had 99 names, but then there was a secret name, Hu. Spelled, pronounced H-U, which is the root of the Egyptian doctrine in dealing with creation and the personification of utterance. You follow that? Hu. As a constant companion of Ta. Another story. All right? But the Mahdi had mystical powers. He was in tune with the upper worlds. He stood 7 feet tall, broad shoulders. You understand that? And when he battled, when he went to war, he would ride on a horse with a sword 70 pounds and would swing his sword and chop the heads of the enemies off. They knew it. Well, what happened? Y'all better pay attention. Because as it was then, so shall it be right what? Now. Y'all better listen to me. All praise and gratitude to Anu Elion Elion El. Allahu Akbar. Listen. All right? So what happened, Bodhi? Okay. The people of Sudan, the Ansars, which means aiders of Allah, right? Because in the Quran, it says, Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu kunu ansar Allah. O ye who are faithful, be aiders of Allah. O ye who are faithful, be aiders of Allah. It did not say, Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu, like kunu Balalian. It didn't say kunu, you know what I'm saying, Sunni, Kunu Shia. It didn't say Kunu Nation of Islam. It didn't say Kunu 5%. Right? The Quran, the noble Quran, gave you an instruction. Allah says, if you are faithful, He says, be an aid of Allah, which translates as Ansar Allah. This is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that leaves no room for improvisation. And anybody that don't want to be an Ansar, hello, is a kafiruna according to the Quran. You're concealing what you know to be the truth. Because the Quran says, call yourself an Ansar, an aid of Allah. Period. That's it. That's all. Well, these Ansars, that's how you know they were the real ones in Sudan. Because Muhammad was, they say, a black Arabian. He was from the Quraysh tribe. He was jet black with nappy hair. You follow that? Or a burnt caramel. If y'all want to listen to the show, y'all got to tune in to 347-308-8902. Right? We're about to go live or stream live in a minute. Okay? Stream live in a minute. This is only part one, family. Part two, I'm going to have some guests, hopefully, with me. Inshallah, mashallah, kana wa mala, mashallah, yakun. How about that? All praises. All right? So, what were we? I'm going to let this lady finish talking. She told me out 50 seconds. Right? You got the little blog talk jingle lady. You know what I'm saying? Just before you say something good, right? They're just letting us know that the show's getting ready to go live in a minute. So if y'all want to listen to the show, you got to call in to 347-308-8902. You understand? 347-308-8902. All praise and gratitude to Ilion, Ilion L. Thank you all for tuning in, paying attention, for loving, living, giving, caring, and sharing, and all the things you do, which only you can do. Do, 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 do. Anyway, I just thought I'd have some fun with y'all. All right? And that's enough. That was my last little thing. 10 seconds. All right? Are y'all with me? So what happens? The Sudanese Ansars, right, were being suppressed. These are the ones who kept the original doctrine, the sacred doctrine of Islam and the manner by which Muhammad taught. Okay? The only ones. Nobody else in the Arab world could lay claim to that. Okay? Understand? All right. The Ansars. The only ones who followed it to the letter. The Ansars of the Sudan, which is where Muhammad's family ended up. Everybody else was not a part of the bloodline. They was improvising, moosing, making up shit, right? Doing their own thing. And that's all a part of it too. That's why there's so much confusion in Islam. You follow that? All right. But either way, they had a good system going. And somewhere along the lines, the British, the Greeks, and the Turks took over and started suppressing and oppressing the people of Sudan. Well, one amongst them had a good idea. Being divinely guided by Allah, went into Egypt, into the Bega tribe, amongst the Hindendawa, The tribe was called the Hindendawa, also called Fuzzy Wuzzies, where we had a whole family of mystics, and we were called Mahdi. And we basically, right, were concerned with balancing, like maintaining balance in the universe. You follow that? And maintaining elemental alignment, aligning with the elements, right? That's what we practice. You understand? And interdimensional travel and breaking time barriers. We were busy just, doing our part here on this blue rock. Well, one amongst us, the Mahdi, alayhi salam, which I know personally today. You know what I mean? Because like Pop said, he's back too, right? He was the one who got the call. You understand? And so the call was to go help the people of Sudan. That was his training. That was his life purpose. Like, you always wonder, why am I here? Why am I here? You never know when you're going to get the call to find out what your true purpose is. You have multiple purposes in your life. You have many people in your life, haven't you? But you have a real purpose that is yet to be seen if indeed you're still breathing, living, and existing, especially if you're hearing this message. Okay? Well, the Mahdi, alayhi salam, got the phone call, so to speak, went into Sudan, assessed the damage, assessed the situation, and he being a loving, peaceful dude, already written the Ratib. Y'all seek out the Ratibs, spelled R-A-A-T-I-B if you want to hear some and feel some beautiful jewels of truth. The Ratib al-Mahdi alayhi salam, called 706-468-2319. right? That's the All Eyes on Egypt bookstore in Monticello, Georgia. Right? That number again is 706-468-2319. You got it? 706-468-2319. Also available is the Holy Tablets, right? Full-colored, beautiful, leather-bound Holy Tablets, right? It's being sold at its original price for only $75. The Holy Tablets, referred to as L's Holy Tablets, right? Inscribed by Dr. Malachi Z. York, the receiver. How y'all like that? That sounds good, right? All right. Shit. Okay, y'all with me? Much love to my wife, Isis, who's listening up there with my baby, who couldn't get on today, couldn't work the switchboard. Right? Praise to her. Thanks to her for all that she do as a being in this universe and on earth, and the powers that she's harnessing and the things that she will accomplish here shortly will be phenomenal. I just want to put on that on record, too. All right. Are y'all with me? Okay, where we at, Bodie? All right. So now, the Mahdi assessed the damage and, got an assessment of the situation and decided that, he was going to definitely help. He had no choice. He was divinely guided anyway. And so and that's what a movie picks up in cartoon, right? In the movie, they show the Mahdi talking to Lieutenant Gordon. You follow that? Who was the commander of the army, of the British Army, right? And there's one scene I'm going to point out before we end it, okay? And that scene is this, y'all. That the Mahdi was basically telling Lieutenant Gordon, he said, listen, y'all just need to surrender and retreat. I don't want to hurt y'all. And Lieutenant Gordon, the white man, he laughed with his British accent. Ha, 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 ha. Nonsense, Numsy. You know what I mean? He said, how are you going to, hurt us or destroy us when you all don't have any weapons except for a bunch of swords? He said, man, we got guns, we got cannons, and we got money. You know what I mean? In other words, y'all niggas don't stand a chance. Sound familiar? How y'all gonna stop us, is what he was asking. The Mahdi said, listen. He said, surely Allah will send an army of 20,000 angelic beings who will be fighting with and alongside us. Y'all don't stand a chance. Lieutenant Gordon laughed, cracked up. He's like, what type of, mumbo jumbo, hoodoo voodoo is this? He's like, nigga, please. That's what he said, right? Don't believe it, nigga, go look at the show. And Mahdi said, all right. He said, do you not know that I am the Mahdi? And Lieutenant Gordon says, man, whatever. That's your philosophical doctrine. I'm not into that. He said, do you see not my high forehead? He said, do you see not this mole on my right cheek? Right? Do you not? He said, do you not see this gap in my teeth? Right in the movie. Smooth as hell. I mean, in fact, act a lot like the brother that I know today that Pop, said to a brother of mine that is the Mahdi. I know him personally. I mean, I've seen the movie. His mannerism is very similar to this being. I love him very much. I'm not going to reveal his name. I already did before, but that's neither here nor there. You understand what I'm saying? And the truth is, right, Lieutenant Gordon was like, man, how about you just give up and y'all just, don't even try to fight us. You know what I'm saying? We're not surrendering, Mr. Mahdi. Go look at this. And the Mahdi went to these little figures. You saw three little, figures, so to speak, like a little thing that, in other words, they had these little white napkins that was hovering over these little, like a little heads and shit. So he took the white napkin off the first head, and it revealed the head of the captain of the Greek army. Took the napkin off the second head, it revealed, and it was the head of the what do you call it, the leader of the Turks. So these are people that the Mahdi used his sword to chop their freaking heads off. Right? It showed Lieutenant Gordon trembling. Listen to me. Well, true to form, right, hours later, the war took place. And all you saw was a group of Ansars with white robes. And y'all better listen to me, because we go back to a show a few weeks ago, right? We started telling everybody, we said, y'all come out of the black by day and put on white by day. I said, y'all put on the white again. Start wearing white clothes again. Are y'all understanding? Why? Because it reflects light. And it's a science to it. And there's multiple reasons why we do what we do. Egyptians wore white at funerals for a reason. And also, the garb of the righteous is white for a reason. People wear black at funerals for a reason. But black absorbs the electromagnetic rays of the sun, gamma ray, for a reason. So nothing is etched in stone. Nothing is just a definite sign. You only wear white at funerals. No, nigga, we wear white for a reason. Y'all better figure it out. Connect the dots. I said, put on the white again and get it right. Put on the white and get it right. Revelation chapter 7, verse 13. What does it say? And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, who are these arrayed in white robes? And from whence came they? He said, sir, thou knowest. These are they that come out of the great tribulation and have washed their robes and made it clean in the blood of the Lamb. Are y'all understand this? That great tribulation, y'all, we already walking out of. The order is start wearing white again. Watch how good you're going to feel. And watch what happens. Y'all better understand. But it's a little deeper than that, too. Y'all stick with me. So anyway, what did you see, Bodie? Well, go look at the movie, cartoon. You order from Blockbuster, right, or Netflix, or internet. It's kind of hard to get, man. But once you get a hold to it, nigga, keep it. Right? Okay? So, all you saw were all the Ansars. Beautiful black brothers, Sudanese. Right? With no fear in their hearts whatsoever. Each one with their white robes and spears and or horses. Listen to me. In formation, running. I'm talking about at Olympic speed. Towards the invaders, who were called the British, the Turks, and the Greeks. Headed by Lieutenant Gordon. Caucasians, pale people, Celts, cave dwellers, lepers, the seed of the devil, Zwin. Yep, they were all there fighting against us as Ansars. Y'all listen to me. And y'all want to know what happened? Right? In the movie? We were saying, as Ansars, they showed us saying, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, wa Makti Khalifa, Rasulullah, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, La ilaha illallah, right? Muhammad Khalifa Rasulullah, Muhammad Rasulullah, Al-Makti Khalifa Rasulullah, like that. Al-Makti Khalifa Rasulullah, you know what I mean? Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, we were just reciting in Arabic, moving towards them, and every now and then you see some of us drop, some of us are throwing spears, and yo, before you knew it, Lieutenant Gordon is shooting cannons, they're shooting guns, but before you knew it, it was hundreds and thousands, it appeared, of angels, Ansars with their arms. About every time they killed one group, another group would appear, and before you knew it, we were all in their sector. Chopping their heads off, thinking we annihilated them crackers. They'll never forget this shit. There's a movie, I'm sorry, a book written by a white man, right? Called Egypt and the Mahdi. Something like that. Look it up. Mahdi is spelled M-A-H-D-I. The memoirs of this particular soldier, right? He said he saw, he survived it and ran, I guess. He saw, in ships. He said he saw circular disc spacecrafts coming out of nowhere and beaming down. He said he saw people beaming down, black men with white robes beaming down with swords. They were no match for us. Why should we allow that to happen again if you don't have faith, right faith? See? So this is my message to the African spiritual community. Are y'all understanding? There's a part that you all are missing. Spirituality is not just burning candles. Spirituality is not just pouring out libation. That's a part of it. That's activating the elements of nature that is necessary. But there's also an inner reality. Attune yourself to the divine in you. So when you say divination, then you become a divination. Divination. You understand? But divine means essence. It is held within. Learn to internalize that which is in you and express it outward. You follow that? And I am Idamir al-Mahdi of the Mahdi family, sent to you all by al-Mahdi himself, who is the real Messiah, Dr. Malachi Z. York, the first to stand on the scene and say, I am Isa. And when he said it, everybody got mad. He says he's Jesus. Then he said, I am Rabboni Yeshua. Then they got mad and said, he says he's Jesus. Then he says, I am not your Jesuschrist. Then another stood on the scene, my brother, Atun Ray, and says, okay, Pop, you're not alone, watch this. He says, I am Jesus. I am Isa. I am Rashuel. They said, he says he's Jesus. Well, now I say, I am Isa. I am Yeshua. I am the real Messiah. And those who will be with me will be referred to as Messiah, rightly guided. And it is we who will usher in the kingdom of God. And what are you going to say? He says he's Jesus. And there should be a new one, and a new one, and a new one, until 144,000 of us are saying the same thing. Okay? So they say, listen to me. All things are related, and all things are connected. Y'all with me? Are y'all understanding? Yeah. For who? What's he saying? All right. Are y'all understanding? Are y'all with me? Are y'all hearing me? We have got to tap into that science, that black magic right now. Right here today. All right, so y'all tune in to part 2. There's more. I will be speaking on the connection between Kumina and giving y'all information that y'all never heard before. By way of the ancestors, by way of the elders. Thank you, Hotep. What do? Amiga, we were bugging. Right? And you get inside these little shopping carts. Right? I'm talking about top of the hill. We call it the hill, which wasn't like a grassy knoll. You're talking about the top of the development, right? When it wasn't no hill or grass or dirt. You're talking about asphalt, street, right? Well, we thought it was a good idea. Excuse me, y'all. Praise the Most High, just 98% complete. Pushing out this flu that this bug that bit me. Speaking of bugs, you know what I mean? But, yeah, family, so we would go to the top of the hill in these little buggies. And we thought it was a wonderful idea to just, get somebody to just push you a certain along the way and then just let the buggy go. And it's still fun, too. You riding down there, you know what I'm saying? You can hear the wheels on the buggy just hitting the street, hitting all the rocks, like on the asphalt, so to speak. And your goal was to get all the way down to the hill, to the bottom of the hill, without falling. I mean, it was a good idea, but it just didn't work. I mean, we thought it was a good idea. Obviously, it wasn't. Because without question, every time, right, just when we thought we made it, you get to a certain point, and don't get me wrong, it felt real good, too. Excuse me. It felt very good, right, going down that hill up until you hit a rock or you hit like a little crack in the street, and all of a sudden, right, the buggy flips over, right, whoever's riding with you, if they were smart, they just watch you ride, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Right, you would fall and you would just bust your ass, literally. I'm talking about, man, everything. I mean, you can fall head first, your chin first, hands. I'm talking about scrapes on your hand, knees. I mean, and no matter how many times we would mess up like that, right? Because we would, you understand, Mike, the older brother, who lived in the apartment complex, his name was Marshall, right? He would always say, man, that's when I first heard the word fuck. I didn't even know what the word fuck means, right? He said, man, you got fucked up. Excuse my French. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew and understood that this wasn't cool, but the thrill was good. And we felt so good about it, we would do it over and over again until you finally realize, yo, I'm not doing this no more. I mean, you would walk up and, it was about how, it was about how it wasn't about how or whether or not you was going to get fucked up. We was hoping that we would survive, right? But the whole game plan was to ride in this buggy and not get hurt. But if you did get hurt, then the question was, how are you going to work through it? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be able to get up, right? Will you survive good enough? Will you want to do it again? You know what I'm saying? It was fun. But fun is the first three letters of the word funeral. So, either way, right, the truth of the matter is, I remember going in King Ridge Apartments, during that time. You understand? When I would go back to my mother, right, run in the house, show her my scrapes or whatever, and sometimes she would kiss it, you know what I mean, or whatever, like kiss your little hand or whatever. At least that's what I imagine. I've heard that so much time. I don't know if my mother ever did that or not. But, you know what I mean, for those who are following along with me, you know what I mean, I know at least I was able to go and get a Band-Aid. Right? The point I'm making is mama would put the Band-Aid on it. I remember being a child and laying down sick with a fever. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my mother just sitting on the side of the bed, with me. And as she was sitting on the side of the bed, you know what I'm saying, watching me go through my fever, whatever, giving me whatever medicines, whatever she was. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Okay. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the show, referred to as What is Nuwapo. My name is Brother Bodie. It's been quite a while since we've done a show, actually live. We've done a lot of Tubal Cain classics. And to be truthful with you all, I'm very inspired. I feel good. I feel great as we speak. And I feel very inspired at this particular time to reach out to the family and share jewels of life and love and truth and touch on the phenomena, right, of black magic, black magic, black magic. Because the name of the show today is referred to as Black Magic and the Science of the Inner Crystal. And I hope many people are asking themselves, right, who may be blessed and or fortunate enough to listen to this transmission, what is the inner crystal? Right, well, we will touch on that today. And let me first start by saying this. Of ourselves, we do nothing without the guidance of the masters. Right? And without question, when we say masters, we're speaking about our spiritual ancestors. You understand that? Who are also linked to our ethereal ancestors, which are connected to our interdimensional family, because we exist in multiple dimensions. Let me explain. A dimension is nothing but a property of space. You see? So there's more than just, having your ancestors. Your ancestors also had ancestors, but they also had inner celestial beings too. Right? And I think, and I pray, and I hope that in this show, for those who are listening, that we all learn the difference between our ancestors and or descendants. What I mean by that? Because when you say ancestors, you're talking about those who you descended from, correct? Meaning your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, right? Your maternal parents on your mother's side, right? And all of your relatives on your mother's side, and all of your relatives on your father's side, and all of your granddescendants on your mother's side, and all your granddescendants on your father's side, right? Well, we understand that to be our ancestors. However, we also have descendants too, right? You say, well, what if I don't have any children? Is it possible for me to have descendants? And I would say yes, because one of the things pointed out to us a long time ago by the Supreme Grand Hierophant, the Geographic of the ancient Tamarayan order, the Tamarayan Tahui, and or AEO, ancient Egyptian order, who is none other than the Teoferic, right? That when we say descendants, you're talking about those beings who descended into this plane of existence, descended into this realm, and or descended into this earth, this planet. You follow that? Not necessarily your progeny, right? Which those beings who stand pro your genetics, right? Because you existed before them, so you're pre-them. I'm not talking about your kids, your children, those who are offspring from you at a later time, ancestors and or descendants. I'm talking about those that you are literally linked into your ancestry, and those who are also supreme and or heavenly and or divine beings that incarnated here too. You understand? So now, mine is a job is to assist by virtue of this transmission that is given to me by the elders, by the ancestors, to help you, the hearer and or the listener, to add to your hearing and receive to what it is that we're saying, which is there are multiple facets and or aspects to what you refer to as divination. You understand? It's not just natural things on earth. It's not just your family, your ancestors, but it's also your spiritual family too. Right? When I say spiritual, I mean your ethereal family. And we're going to get into all of that. Right? First off, I want to send much love to everybody in the listening audience. Give praises to the greatest grand ancestral spirits, the ever-present ancestral spirit who is with us always. And each one of us have the ability to channel that energy. You follow that? That great collective force, that loving high force energy that moves through all of our ancestors. You understand? That the religious world referred to as the Most High. Well, you may simply, as a child, say your grandfather. It's a link to the many fathers that you descend and or ascend from. Because you have ascendants and descendants too. Right? The Native Americans referred to them as the ancient ones. You understand? And when you say ancient ones, meaning those beings who are ancient, right, beyond, right, the last 6,000 years. I don't mean that, because we know that the Caucasian, the pale race, right, would make me and you feel guilty about connecting with our ancestors. They're trying to say that me and you, if we did it, right, is some type of pagan worship. It's some type of voodoo, right, as if voodoo is a bad thing. And voodoo is a French word, which means self-introspection, right, which also represents the self and or spirit. Because the word self is nothing but another way of saying spirit, you know. So what's wrong with getting in tune with your own spirit? It's just that they took that which was good and made it evil. But not evil to them, but evil to you. Meaning they don't want me and you to connect with those sciences. The voodoo is only 1 degree away from what it initially was and or is, right, which is hoodoo. You see, the science of who, the creative force of will, meaning you have the ability to create your own force of will to will positive in your life and or negative in your life by virtue of your thinking. You understand? And why? Because it's pointed out to me by a brother the other day that I was speaking to. His name is kemetic. Good brother that I was introduced to from Nikki Love, right? Shout out to Nikki Love Radio. You follow what I'm saying? But one of the things the brother said to me and reminded me, I should say, is that there are multiple interdimensional, he said there's multiple infinite possibilities. Your life is based on multiple infinite possibilities, not just one way of doing things, not just one way of feeling, not just one way of living. You follow that? And who better to see these things than beings who are genetically tied to you? Let's keep it simple. Your mothers and your fathers. Because if you were a child and you needed help, say for instance you were running and you scraped your knee, right, against the ground, then who did you have to come to for help? You understand? Either your mother or your father. In most cases, your mother. You ran to your mother, you showed her your knee, right? Or in my case, you know what I'm saying, my wrists, my hands, my elbows, you know, because I was constantly, you know what I'm saying, going against nature. All right? And there's penalties for going against nature. What I mean by that? Well, at the age of 7 years old, living in Kings Ridge apartment in Atlanta, Georgia, me and my brother, sometimes my sister, we converted her into, right, anti-nature too. You know what I mean? It's when you, right, you know, we would take these shopping carts, right, and we would go to the top of the hill in these shopping carts. We call them buggies. You know, referred to as the Reformer for a reason. Because in that tape called The Reformer, for those who may remember, he gives a thorough breakdown and explanation from his own voice and his own reading of his bloodline. You follow that? Starting June 26, 1945, with his own birth. Born on a Tuesday, 12 o'clock, listen, y'all pay attention, a.m. You see? And when you say a.m., we also say, oh, right? O-M, right? Because the am is a particular type of year, right? In the according to us as Anunnaki, not Anunnaki. That's a little story. Okay? You know, it's 25,920 years. Huh. You know, AM, like 3 o'clock AM, is when everything opens up, right? They call it the super subconscious. Some people call it the witching hour. Well, you know the word witch is, take out the CH, you get wit. They say this person got quick wit. They just created the word, right, witch from the word wit. You understand? Because they knew witch has to do with a particular type of wisdom. And they say amongst us as Africans, we have what's called witch doctors. Meaning, which doctor will you use for whatever it is that you need? Because we are the medicine men and the medicine women, right? But the word doctor is a Latin word meaning to teach. I just want to put that on record. Doctor, right? So they didn't understand, right? That's another story. We're going to dispel and demystify, right, all the Caucasian myths, right, that they plagued us with, making us afraid to connect with our ancestors and connect with our African spiritual sciences and or Nubian and or Nawapian spiritual sciences for fear that we're doing some type of devil worship, fear that we're doing something wrong. And they created English words like darkness. You follow that? And put that in the English translations of the Bible. So whenever you see darkness in the English translation of the Bible, they're not telling you that if you go and do a research and go back to the language, whatever word they were using, in most cases, you'll see the Arabic word zulama, which means ignorance. They translate the word zulama, which means ignorance, right, to darkness, to make you think that darkness is ignorance, when in fact God created the light. And light, as pointed out to me by the real Messiah, Atud Ray, the little brother, light had to be let. What I mean by that, because if you open up your Bible, and I have not forgot about the point I was making with Dr. York, you know what I mean? If you open up your Bible, right, we who are your elders, we speak like this for a reason. Okay, we have to be all over the place. We do that for a reason, because, you know, parables are parallel, and they tie into paradoxes, you know, which is the divine truth, as above, so below, yeah, as inner, so outer, too. Okay? But Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, right? And God said, let there be light. And there's a difference, as pointed out to me by the little brother, the real Messiah, to Ray, between shadow and darkness. You follow that? Darkness is eternal, right? It's called black, a supreme state of balancement called black. It's always was, is, and will ever be. But light had to be let. You follow that? Light had to be given permission to exist. And what I mean by that is darkness is eternal and shadow is only produced when, listen, light hits an object, producing a shadow. The same way the sun's rays, right, the energy of the sun's rays will hit the planet Earth, right, producing a shadow. Right? And in the nighttime, we call it the shadow hours. But what they don't tell you, listen, about the word night, N-I-G, was administering to me at the time. I remember her placing her hand on my forehead, on my neck, and I remember feeling so much love and compassion and warmth, as if though she really did not like to see me in that state. That's all I could feel. Because, you know, as a child, right, it wasn't about what people said. It was about what they showed you, right? Because remember now, we as children, we're very energy sensitive. Well, which brings me to the basis of it all when we speak about black magic. Because the first thing we have to understand is we have to connect with our ancestors. You understand? And the first means of connecting with your ancestors is acknowledging your existence. Hit yourself on the chest. You understand? And simply say, I exist. And you know, as pointed out to us by the Ray, simple. By virtue of the fact that I exist, that means that everybody that I descend from also exists. Listen, from mother to father, all the way to the original vibration, to the original vibration that we are all a part of. Did y'all hear me? We are all a part of an original vibration. Are you understanding? That vibration does not have density. What I mean by that? It does not have body. B-O-D-Y. It is not physical insofar as what you understand to be physical. And it supersedes objects. It supersedes materialization. It supersedes manifestation. It is ethereal and as pure and as luminous and as loving as love itself. In fact, it is life because divine love is life. You understand? And so, as pointed out to me, and reminded to me by one of my brothers who is Atunre, right? The real Messiah, whom I love, my brother. You understand? Whom I love, all my brothers. I pointed out because of what he shared with me has been so beautiful and beneficial to my life. And I'm very thankful. However, that vibration is what we're all a part of. You understand? That vibration is what we must reattune ourselves to. Right? When you go into the show and you see where it says, what is Nawapo? Right? And you see where it says, learn to spiritually reattune yourself with your spiritual ancestors. We have yet to begin to start transmitting those tones through this mode of communication, which you all refer to as blog talk radio. Right? Meaning we are in cyberspace. And the real deal is that was all in place for a reason. Why? Because we are constantly about our Father's work, who is Atunre, right? The first real Messiah, meaning the first to stand on the scene and say, I am Asa, right? Which, of course, Dr. Malachi Z. York, for those who don't know, was born June 26, 1945, in the Sudan. But keep in mind, the area that he was born in is called Ordumani. And understand that Sudan is a vast place, that all of Africa, listen, at one point in time was referred to as Sudan. Because the word Sudan, Arabic word Sud, means black, and means two. You see? Sudan meaning two blacks. And this is something that the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, made very clear. And he said he put out a tape a long time ago when we were Ansars